Do you feel the vibes?
Hello everybody, King Nelly Reviews here, and today we're going to be going over the current plot lines and out of the current arc. So yeah, this arc's been going on for a while, and here's a lot of stuff in this arc, and some people forget certain things we still need to know, and some things that still need to conclude that we've seen. So in this video, I'm going to go through all of that, so let's get right to it. So let's start with the overarching main goal, which is to kill Yoshiki and Kai. We find out in 140, Tenzawa explains why we need to kill Kai as well. He's saying that Kai will just rebuild the team if we kill Yoshiki and not him. So in order to really make sure Kyoranki is off the map, we got to get both of them. So that's the first main plot line, and let's go to the second. So the next plotline we go to is Yoshiki versus Tenzawa. In chapter 149, we actually see it like on screen. They're faced off, and I got so hyped, bro. This is easily gonna be the best fight in the series, and almost like all manga fights, like it could be so up there. It's crazy. So the build up and everything, I'm so hyped for it, bro. I'm gonna get it this arc like eventually. So I need it, bro. I need it. So that's another thing we should look out for whenever that's gonna happen. So let's move on to the next one. So for our third plot line, we should look out for it will be where Kai got those, Lina and company from. He says they're ex Baku Shinshi heavies, but I doubt that. I mean, he could be telling the truth, but at the same time, I feel like there's something way deeper. Like they can't be from that gang, bro. No way, that gang sucks. So it's like there's just no way. So I am curious, like their origins, like Lina and her company. What like how what did Kai like say? Was it just money? Like why they're here, why they're helping him? Like what do they gain out of it? So I'm curious to see how that goes. Now let's move on to the fourth plot line. Now the fourth plot line, of course, Keigo versus Furin. The rematch. In 158, we see Keigo pull up to Furin after Furin kind of makes work of Kenichi, and Keigo looks like he's here for business, bro. He fought Furin before, kind of got mopped, but now, like the look in his eyes, he kind of took a month plus off, training, I guess, but, we'll, like, with how, like, his eyes were, and we all know, like, when Keigo gets that, like, rage in his eyes, he's a different beast. They even said he fought Josuke, bro, so... I want to see if Keigo actually wins that, because if he does, that would be big. Taking out Furin is big. So Keigo versus Furin, that could be a really, really good match, because I enjoyed Kenichi versus Furin, and Keigo versus Furin should be better. So that's another one I'm looking out for. Now let's move on to the fifth one. The fifth plot line, bro. Iguchi, what is good with you, bro? What are you doing? Like, this man said over and over again he wasn't about to pull up to the war. I mean, we sort of knew it was cap, but it seemed that he's working with Yoshiki, giving him info. He told Yoshiki where Kilihito is gonna attack, etc., etc. Of course, this could be another Taguchi situation where it's like some super double agent kind of thing. But I really do wonder what they have over him. Like he didn't seem like he wanted to do it. He seemed kind of like he's forced to. It's not like he really wants to do this. So I do wonder what's going on with that. That still has to be explained. And yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. So let's move on to the next one. Now the sixth plot line to kind of look out for would be what Yoshiki requested Ahmad to do. Now, we all know that, Manuk is in the mud, got cut up. Ahmad just kind of handled him. But Ahmad was saying that, what's he going to do with the request of the tiger? With Tenzawa being like the lion, it's fair to assume Yoshiki will be the tiger. And yeah, I'm curious what Yoshiki will kind of ask Ahmad to do that got Ahmad thinking like this. So that's kind of something just on the side, but like Ahmad's important in this arc. Like him and the locals. They're kind of like the third party that they could be a deciding factor for who wins. So it's important to pay attention to what Ahmad's on and what Ahmad is doing. So that's something you should look out for. Now let's move on to the next one. So for the seventh plot line, we have just more insight on what happened between Josuke and Yoshiki. Because in 164, in Mamiya's flashback, we have Myriad saying Ashura had some type of role. Like, it wasn't just Yoshiki and the 6th gen that caused, the Mad War, or that caused like that the whole issue. Ashura had like a role to play, but and Hizaki knows it, but he's the leader, so he can't really do much. But he said like the blame, we can't just blame the 6th gen and Yoshiki. Like, there was something more to it. Then in 168, Tenzawa said Ashura, like, they lost Josuke first, and Ashura wasn't like a innocent bystander to that. He said Ashura and Myriad, Hizaki, Myriad, the leaders of Ashura were scared little cats, and he said Josuke was right to start the Mad War. So definitely more going on there. There's some more context on why the Mad War started, what exactly led to Josuke being taken out, what exactly was like the turning point, and I feel like we're gonna get that soon. So look out for that. That's gonna be important. Let's move on to the next one though. Now for our 8th plotline, we have Iguchi versus Tenzawa. Now in 169, we see Iguchi face up against Tenzawa and says he wants to take him out. Now we already saw in 149, Tenzawa faced Yoshiki. So, and they look like they're at max health. So it's most likely they didn't actually fight. But if they didn't, then what exactly happened when he faced off? Because Iguchi said he wasn't gonna pull up, and he just did. And not only did he pull up, he pulled up to fight Tenzawa. So we definitely did see what happened between those two in that fight. Like, did someone just get in the way and let Tenzawa go, and then they fought Iguchi instead, or did they work something out really quickly? We have no clue. So we definitely gotta watch out for what Iguchi did and Tenzawa did in that situation. Now, let's move on to the 9th plotline. Now, for that 9th plotline, bro, we got Kaname versus Myriad. That's still not concluded. Like, last thing we saw of them, they're about to face off. And after Manuk went out, bro, Kaname said he's ready for murder. He's ready to get him out the paint. I know in Kaname, it's funny because Kaname and Myriad were, like, as vice heads, they were usually, like, the more calm, cool, collected kind of people. They didn't really ask for violence and murder. But after Myriad lost Manuk, he said, yeah, I'm killing all y'all. I don't care what happens. And then Kaname is thinking back to how Manuk was telling them, hey, like, you could get out of this life, this delinquent life. You could honestly live a good, nice life, but Manuk just got clapped by, Myriad. And Kaname said, oh yeah, you dying. You dead. And so this fight's going to be really good. Because Manuk said Myriad might even be stronger than Tenzawa. So that's true. what chance does Kaname have? But based on, when Kaname met up with Hizaki way back, Hizaki, like, he knew Kaname for a long time, but like that face Kaname made, like that like energy Kaname had, he said he was not ready for that energy whatsoever. So he said, Yoshiki and his gang is in for a lot of hurt if they underestimate Kaname. So Kaname might have a hidden switch in him that we don't know about yet. So yeah, I'm really excited for Kaname versus Myriad. I wonder how that will go. That would be crazy. So let's move on to our 10th plotline. So for our 10th plotline, we're gonna go over what Amano Reiji is doing here, bro. Because that guy, he was one of Josuke's core, like, 3 people. It was Tenzawa, Yoshiki, and Amano Reiji. He was the vice head of Josuke, while Josuke was the leader of Kilihito. So he's very important. Like, just his position alone, being Josuke's vice head, that's crazy. So and given with how strong Yoshiki and Tenzawa is, Reiji might be insane, like absolutely insane. And I do wonder what, he's on, because we see him have Josuke's bracelet. And so, I mean, we all know they were close, obviously vice head, but I really wonder what his motive is. And also, we also know that Kenzo was hired by Amano Reiji to do what he's doing now. So Amano could be a very, very big reason why the winner of this, like, Yoshiki versus Tenzawa actually wins, because he holds a lot of influence just being Josuke's, right hand. So yeah, I'm really surprised he pulled up. We did see him in Manuk's backstory as well. Like, Reiji, bro, like, that guy, I'm really excited to see what he's on, because I feel like he's going to bring some heat. There's a lot of stuff he can bring to the table. So y'all have to watch out for that. And let's get on to the next plotline. Now for our 11th plotline, we're going to get to Rukia's Other Treasure. Now we all know Rukia, he was a victim of Josuke. You know, he pulled up on him on Meguro and Josuke and ended up, you know, put in the dirt. So, but while they buried Rukia, they also buried his they buried that video. Like all the higher ups at the time had, you know, they all came together and had like a, you know, peace treaty meeting, and then, which is very very bad for your reputation. You know, that's not how you handle stuff in the delinquent world. So if like people see that, that's already a big deal. So we end up finding that buried there was that, you know, like the video and the like contract. And on top of that, there's something else. You know, there was like another treasure that Kenzo found, and Kenzo kept saying, "Oh, he was right," and then that he was most likely Amano Reiji. So I wonder what that is. You know, because Kai keeps calling it, you know what, you know, and then that thing, like no one wants to say what it is. So that reveal is gonna be pretty big. So you have to watch out for that reveal. And I feel like it's gonna be like, you know, big reveal, because already, you know, it's kind of overshadowing the fact that they have the video of them like coming together, because that video is already bad enough for like a gang's reputation, you know, and on top of that, this other treasure is kind of taking the spotlight. So that treasure is going to be something good. So watch out for that, you know, that'll be important. Now let's go on to the next plot line. Now for our next plot line, we're going to be talking about what is Kanboren and what is the Kanto Bokyo alliance. Now we know that Koken, he's like the leader of his generation for that alliance, and I'm guessing he's in the gang Kanboren, and Kanboren is in the Kanto Bokyo alliance. That's just my guess. But yeah, we have to figure out what's that about. You know, like who are they? What's their history? We saw them show up before back in Ashura, but yeah, we don't really know who they are or the context behind them. And this could honestly be related to what Tenzawa was talking about Ashura not being innocent bystanders when it came to, you know, the Mad War and Josuke and stuff like that. So maybe this will give us more insight to what happened back then. But yeah, like we have to watch out for what this Kanto Bokyo alliance is, what Kanboren is, and just who really is Koken. So let's move on to the last plot line. And for our 13th and final plot line, we're going to be talking about Koken and what's going to happen with him. So he snuck in the truck or the van that they were using in the back, and we got injured Kenzo, you know, some of Kenzo's boys, and Genya. That's pretty much it. And then we have max power Koken that leads a generation. So we're gonna have to handle that somehow, and I really do wonder how that's gonna work out. You know, like Genya, I don't think Genya is that strong, bro. Like Genya could come in clutch, you know, somewhere they come in clutch, but with how Koken is hyped up, like man, that's gonna be rough. So yeah, we gotta somehow deal with Koken. You know, he's stuck on, so maybe they might shake him off or something, but we'll have to see. So let's also go through some side notes. So like these are like important plot lines, but they're worth mentioning. So first off, Kai is going behind Yoshiki's back and doing things, and it's gonna blow up in his face soon enough, but it doesn't have to happen this arc. That's why it's like a side note. But Yoshiki's kind of like, you know, side eyeing Kai because he knows Kai's kind of hiding something from him, and Kai he's gonna get caught eventually, and then it's like, what's gonna happen when he gets caught? You know, that's just something to keep in the back of your head. And of course, and then there's also Sho, you know, the guy that got killed, and then like the snake in Magura squad. His sister, you know, that gotta be. We don't know if Tenzawa was gonna, you know, how Tenzawa will react to protecting his sister. So that'll be a good way to kind of establish how he feels with like Kilihito, ex-Kilihito members that like snake people, like how he moves with like protecting his sister. That will help like decide some things. Then we also have Lina. Lina killed a couple of the locals in the scrapyard, and of course Ahmad was talking about how, you know, as long as no one touches our locals, you know, be on standby. So the fact that Lina killed those locals, would it come back to bite Kyoranki? Like, if Ahmad finds out that someone from Kai Squad killed, some of his boys, would he make a move, or would that be after? We don't really know where that will go. But like I said, this could happen after the arc, so it's more of a side note. We don't really know how that will go. And of course, Meguro's situation with Kenzo. If Kenzo was to be hurt or get killed, yet the Meguro will also be killed. So it's like, why? What exactly is going on? We know Meguro's in that like safe house or whatever, but we don't exactly know what's the context of him being there, why he's there, why they're keeping him there, when can he move, all of that, and why is he so linked to Kenzo. So like I said, that could also be answered after the arc. So yeah, those are just 4 side notes to kind of keep in the back of your head, just just keep in the back of your head, just because it could come back at any given moment. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up everything. If you enjoyed the content, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll definitely be dropping more soon, and thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll catch y'all later, and yeah, see ya.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's